if you look at the transformation just in last just 10 to 15 years, not just in India, globally, tech has enabled and made our life very, very easy. And I always I started thinking those years that if the same phenomenal tech can be used for the use cases in disability, possibly it can help as well. And that was the genesis of ATF, is when we said, what if we create an organization which will help entrepreneurs? Now, helping one person is great as well. I'm sure in our personal capacity, we all help people. But what if you help one entrepreneur and that startup or entrepreneur can help 100,000 people? Imagine if we can help 100 entrepreneurs like this. Imagine we can enable 1,000 startups like this. Is when we said we have to create an ecosystem in India, possibly a global ecosystem, which will enable entrepreneurs, tech entrepreneurs who are helping build solutions for people with disabilities. Was the whole thought. We started with just 15, 20 startups in India. Today, Shivan, long story short, ATF, Assistive Foundation, which is registered as a non-profit based out of Bangalore, works with 450 such tech entrepreneurs in the country. We also have a global alliance called PlusIn, which is ATF from India. We have Remarkable from Australia. We have somebody in New Zealand, Kenya, Canada. South. Then we have folks coming in and joining from different parts of Europe as well now. And we have a partner in Hong Kong, China as well. Imagine what we have built just sitting here in Bangalore is world's fastest and the largest assistive technology ecosystem for AT entrepreneurs. So I think we are very proud of what we have been able to do. Obviously, a lot what we are able to do is not, as is enabled by a lot of our partners. We work with the government, we work with different corporate organizations as well. But yeah, that's the whole fun, that we are taking the same phenomenal innovation, same fantastic tech, and applying to the use cases of independent mobility for blind people. One of few of our startups are using virtual reality gamification to have kids with autism learn better. We have bionic arms being made, which are high-tech bionic arms, which will be able to help the person who's an amputee do function as a normal hand. We have a lot of startups building tech for better communication for speech and hearing impaired as well, because it's very difficult to communicate if you don't know a sign language as well. So yeah, there's the same phenomenal tech is changing lives, Shivan, but yeah, we're very happy that we are able to build that ecosystem in India and outside.
Now, ATF was opened around 2018?
2019, yes.
And how's your journey been since then within ATF? You had meetings with Rahul Dravid and many other notable people. How's that been?
I think, like I said, Shivan, my journey has been great. There are 1.4 billion people with some or the other kind of disability in the world. In India, depending on whom we are talking, we'll get different numbers, but by some estimates, you're talking about 80 to 90 million people with disabilities. It's a large section of population. We like to think of this as world's biggest or minority. Yeah, think of it. Think of a country like India, where probably that nation of that population, a country as big as India, everybody has some other kind of disability. It's a large problem. When we think about this population, I also like to tell you that disability is not an issue. Accessibility is an issue. Attitude is an issue. Perceptions are an issue. A lot of time when we see a person with disability, people think of how would that person study? How would that person travel? Now, if I was on wheelchair, I couldn't come to your apartment here, because by the time I have gotten down, there's no accessibility. It's not my inability to come to your apartment. It's not your inability to host me. It's just that shared infrastructure inaccessibility. Think of it. It's not that if I were blind, you and I go for a movie, you will have to verbalize the whole movie to me. I'm sure people are not going to like both of us. Yeah. It's not my ability to not enjoy this content. It's movies or the platform's inavailability of accessibility, by which I'm not able to enjoy. So disability is not an issue. Now, how do we solve this conundrum? How do you solve a problem which has to be 1.4 billion people or 80, 90 million people? I believe While technology has changed our life, technology can also change the lives of people with disability. And assistive technology is a big enabler. Yeah. Imagine the same movie which can be audio described by a technology startup in a portfolio where you watch a movie, you don't have to vocalize me. I put the handset and it's all audio describing the movie without disturbing anyone. Imagine a briefcase kind of a ramp which would have enabled me if I was on wheelchair to come to your flat flawlessly. It's a briefcase. You just open it, use the ramp, fold it, and just come back as well. And hence, while I'm also giving examples of the problem, I'm also trying to give you an examples of assistive technology and startups which are enabling that access. Mm-hmm. Now, to answer your question, journey has been great because I said for 25 startups to 450 startups itself is a huge uplift in terms of number of people who are trying to solve the problem of people. Now, who are these people?